Time for Sports on the Bayou, a detailed account of the sports scene in Louisiana. Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury will break down the weekly Saints game, brought to you by the American flag, as well as the St. Martin and Bourke weekly LSU breakdown. Harry McCullough will bring us the Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Lafourche Parish segment, featuring key games of local interest. Dr. Pat, our favorite ENT, is always on top of the
asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Stan Grava will bring us local pertinent medical sports information as well as high school sports. Martin False, that's me, will open up the mics in the crowd to see what's on the fans' mind. More talk and plenty of audience questions. Live from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou. And here's Mike Detillier.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, along with the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, Rich Maury. We'll be back with a lot more here to talk about. Wasn't a great weekend for the home teams, but we'll be right back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bourke and Hafiz Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bourke and Hafiz Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Welcome back to Sports on the Bayou. Guys, man, just a heartbreaking loss. 23-21 Saints to the Titans. You had a lot of opportunities. Phantom, roughing the passer, which at a critical point in the game, no matter how you want to cut it, it was at a critical point. But when you
the refs are cheating again. They cheating. Damn. It's like you cannot make. Listen, but that's a flag happy crew. They call 15 to 17 penalties. I think the fans don't appreciate. I think they were like 8 to 9 penalties. Now, if you jump off sides, illegal procedure, you have to call that. But those judgment calls on that same drive, roughing the passer, and then Demario Davis got a penalty. That's not a penalty. Let him play. Well, it's like, and I would say this, if this is against the Saints, you got to let him play.
And it's just not against the Saints either. Man,
it's around the league.
They protect the quarterbacks like it's gold. It's almost flag football.
They're having too much influence. We talked about this a couple of years ago, and they better be careful because this gambling thing, Vegas isn't going to tolerate that kind of stuff. And if there's any sense whatsoever
that
there's something, I mean, they used to get to some of the players. We can't deny it, way back when in the old days. Now maybe they're getting – there's too much money in the thing, man. Now maybe they're getting to the refs. I don't know. I'm just saying.
And the same thing could cost you the game. Unsportsmanlike conduct, too much celebration. Like, what?
What is that? That's a
the
joke.
fans like that. You have to look at who's enjoying the game. You have to look at your customer.
Well, who's getting insulted? The pros, I could see it in college, but a pro player is not getting insulted if you
it's over the line. Right. It can cause a riot and just a brawl versus you doing a dance. Like with Mark Gastineau, that doesn't even matter when you look. They did that old school.
Last week, we saw it on the Monday night game. Cassius Marsh makes a play, kind of celebrates, turns toward
karate kick. I don't know,
turns
whatever
toward
that
the
was.
bench.
And then
he goes to walk back, and the referee walks right into him, almost like hip checks him.
That influences the game.
And then he throws the flag. Now, he had the flag in his hand before he hip checks him, but basically he throws the flag. My thing about it is the NFL said the referee did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
that's a racket.
He was watching their own game. But
no. The officials. You know who's a great official in the National Football League? When nobody knows who you are. When it's like you're out there and you're doing your job and you're not part of the game. That's when you're doing your job. Not when all of a sudden you're talking about a particular official or a crew to influence the outcome.
Well, that's why Carl Johnson doesn't want to be the head referee.
But you got it. But they're
doesn't
getting
want nobody to call him out other than you, Abe.
They're getting a directive from somebody, though. What's the objective? I mean, someone's telling them, make more calls. What's the main objective of the referees from the NFL? Is it all about TV?
TV is about protect that quarterback. They don't want. They must have done some survey about. They don't want to see all this excess celebration, that sort of thing.
They don't want to see the excess celebration. You know why? Because you do influence the youth. You look out the great game in the future.
Okay, so it's okay to beat your wife up, and that's fine, but don't worry about the celebration.
No, you can't,
right?
but that's off the field. I'm talking about what's on the big guy in the sky don't like. No, you can't. You get in trouble all off the field. Never hit a woman. I can tell you that right now. That you'll never win. You never win. You're in trouble. That's not right. But on the field, the big guy in the sky don't lie, and that's why you can never think you're not a role model, even though you might say, "Oh, I'm not a role model. I'm just an aggressive football player." But no, I'm telling you, the NFL is trying to be so politically correct on this to go, well, we want the young future players, whether it's Little League, whether it's high school, and to see how to be a pro and not necessarily all the celebration.
Well, they're not doing a good job of it because I've watched some high school games
right,
and college
but
games.
All the money,
they're not doing a real good job of that.
People want to see that, though.
Yes, all the money. It's entertainment. Right? People want to be entertained unless you're going on the bench and causing a lot of havoc or something. Now, that's over the line. But a lot of times when you get that 15-yard penalty for excessive celebration, it's a bunch of BS.
All right, we're going to go to the highlights of the Titans win over the Saints. And early on, Trevor, back to pass. And, he's had a couple of decent games. Traquan Smith comes up.
Well, he got open. Look how open
he caught
was.
It.
Trevor.
He actually caught it. And then here we go.
Shank. Like hook left.
He'd never play golf in my book.
Boy, watching this. Deontay Harris, to start the second half, got the crap knocked out. Watching his hit.
Wait, he's running the ball. Wait. Where's he carrying the ball? 101. He carried the ball on the outside, never carried on the inside.
Well, the thing is, though, Rich, I think you might have fumbled on that hit. I think a lot of people would have fumbled.
Not if the ball's on the outside, he doesn't hit the ball.
He hit the ball. You're right.
And then Mark Ingram had a really good game against the Titans, not only as a runner, but
how can you not like Mark Ingram? His 9th carry of the game became the Saints franchise record holder in yards rushing, breaking the great Deuce McAllister's record right over a little over 6,000 yards.
And then we saw
missed
the
it
second
again.
Miss extra point. And Trevor back to pass, throws it out in the flat, and hits Marquez Callaway. And that's a tight window throw.
That's a tight window. That's a contested throw, and we finally caught one.
And then Trevor throws it out, trying to get
desperation.
the
football. That to me, that would have been a Ty Montgomery player, Alvin Kamara. Ty Montgomery, his finger, his pinky, but the ball was out, so I'm not going to give him too hard a time. I was giving him a hard time.
But Sean straightened it out.
Well, no, but I'm thinking, you hurt your pinky. Like, what? Do y'all remember Ronnie Lott with the 49ers?
He cut his finger.
Ronnie Lott
cut it off.
Was in a game, and his pinky got caught in the jersey, and all of a sudden it was barely hanging on. He still wanted to play. They cut it off on the sideline.
Bobby.
If you shake Ronnie Lott's hand, or you look at, I don't know if it was right or left hand, but look at both his hands,
Bobby,
he got a little pinky about this
Bobby,
long.
people are eating lunch. This is a lunch show. What are you talking about cutting fingers off?
It wouldn't be the first time he
Chuck's gagging over there. He's just somebody spit up his
shows
salad.
you old school what Ronnie Lott thought of the game. What Ronnie Lott thought of the game. Now, no way they would do that.
Now, but you looked at these two teams, and they're sort of mirror images of one another. And they're built up front, offensive, defensive lines. You saw Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry for the Saints. They had David Onyemata, who had a really good game. Marcus Davenport had a tremendous game also. And, man, the Titans, how they've been able to win. And I do pregame for the Titans. So, man, it was really weird to see how this team has been able to win. They beat the Bills, on a Monday night game. The Chiefs.
They beat all these playoff teams from last year.
They've had 82 players suit up this year. The NFL record is 84. So Mike Rabel in the press conference yesterday said, well, we're going to eclipse that record next week.
Wow.
There's no way that we're not going to have to go out and get
It's a sign of great coaching, obviously.
That's
being able
really
the next
coaching.
man stepping up and having the depth to do that.
So we'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. Man, LSU, second straight week. Defense came to play in a big manner. And, man, just can't get nothing going on the offensive side. The football, you need to change that quarterback. And as we've talked about before, because I've seen him in practice, Garrett Nussmeier, you take the good with the bad. He is the ultimate gunslinger. I think I can put a ball right there and sometimes it's a completion and sometimes it's not. But again, you had some opportunities in this game, and you let it slip away. Because this is a game, I think, you could tell at the end of the game, Coach O, even in his press conference, man, he was emotional about it. He really thought they were going to win this football game, and it slipped away.
Go ahead, Rich. You want to go?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough loss for them. I mean, the defense plays lights out, right? You give up 16 points and you can't win a game at that level. It's just the break's not falling your way. That's a game maybe at any time you could lose during the year, right? It's just that close. But
the thing is, LSU wanted to run the football, but they averaged like 2.5 yards per carry.
Yeah, they were going to stop that.
So that didn't happen. You look at defensively, Arkansas only picked up 3 third-down conversions. They were 3 of 16. So you'd say LSU's defense dominated. Mike, what is the pro prospects? I'm looking at like a guy like Baskerville. He tied a career high. He had 12 tackles, including 3.5 for a loss and a couple of sacks. How does the NFL view a player like that?
Because he can play both inside linebacker and out on the edge. I think he's a middle-round pick, but the best one is Damone Clark.
Damone Clark, so he got, Damone Clark.
But you walk up to Damone and it's like, man, that's how a linebacker should be built. Bobby, who he's built a lot like is Vaughn Johnson.
Whoa.
He's
a big
built
cat.
like Vaughn. He's a tall guy. He's almost 6'3". He's 235, 240, which is sort of what Vaughn was built. But he actually has gotten so much better in the coverage part of the game.
Well, let me tell you this. Now, this is the enemy. How can you not like a player like Bumper Pool? That ain't his nickname. That is his real name. His mom and daddy named him Bumper. I don't know if they're at the bar room when they're playing Bumper Pool or whatever, hanging out. But Bumper Pool from Texas, he goes to University of Arkansas. He had 13 tackles, including 2 for a loss. Mike, he's just a guy that would, to me, make a roster because he would do anything would it take to be at the NFL level.
He doesn't start. He's their leading tackler, but he's the first one off the bench.
So they plug and play him.
A lot of it, too, he's so emotional and so hyped up, they think he's better coming off the bench than he is and stuck because he will make a mistake. Here's the crazy part. He almost went to LSU. It was LSU, Arkansas, TCU for him.
Well, and he went to Arkansas.
That would have been great him to come to LSU with Bumper Pool.
No, Bumper Pool. How can you not like that name? So I always intrigued with like these names. I'm looking like LSU getting ready to play Louisiana Monroe. Come on, that LSU's a 28.5 to 29-point favorite. They have a receiver named Boogie Knight. Boogie Nights. I don't know. Is that his real name? I think his mom
That's
and
his
dad
real
name. Boogie Nights.
Just like Bumper Pool.
Yeah, Bumper Pool, Boogie Nights. I mean, that'll catch your attention when you see those kind of names.
LSU got a commitment from a high school kid. His name is Decoldus Crawford.
Oh,
Decoldus.
Badass Decoldus.
Decoldus. We're going to go to the highlights. Outside. KJ Jefferson throws it downfield. Blake Kern, 18 yards to LSU 35. The drive stalls. Cam Little comes in for the field goal.
He didn't miss.
Man, freshman kicker. He was good. He was really, really good. And then
well, he won't miss either.
No, he may be a top 100 pick in this draft. That's how good the LSU kicker is. Tyron Davis-Price. Man, he makes some plays sometimes he's really impressed with.
So, Mike, he's ever since the Florida game, how hard he's run compared to the beginning of the season?
I agree with you. Then, again, Nussmeier rolling out of traffic, throws this one up. How about that? Jack Besh. Great catch in the corner of the end zone.
That's an overachiever. Mike, look at his resume and how he's come through.
Then they're trying to run the Wildcat here, which I don't get. And Davis Price.
Because it would be at least 13-3, Mike. You cannot turn over the ball right there in the red zone.
And then Cole Tracy comes in, kicks it through. It's a little short from 54 yards out. So Arkansas gets the ball back. KJ Jefferson, man, he had a lot of heat. He got away from this a couple of 3 times.
Big and strong.
And then wide receiver wide open on the play.
And we should have sacked him before that. Come on, you got to get him down.
KJ's a big man out there on the field.
That reminded me of the damn Auburn game. Bo Nix, who made him look like...
ain't that big.
No, but we couldn't get him down. No. It's like Cam Newton. Who we playing against?
And then Nussmeier again, trying to get the football in a tight spot, gets it picked off. And that's what you're going to get with him. Some really good plays and plays not so good. And then the fake after a timeout, which you say, man, watch out for the fake here. And sure enough, he gets the first down, but it stalls. And then Greg Little comes in for the field goal, kicks it through. Arkansas takes the lead. And Tyron Davis-Price gets down to the 39-yard line. But they, again, had to settle for the field goal.
Mike, when you look at LSU reach Arkansas's territory 4 times without scoring a point. Now, you look at that. I mean, it was...
And then this, it should have been a back shoulder throw, but he threw that one too short.
That's a bad throw. You might say, instead of throwing it right here, you got to throw it right here. It's amazing how accurate you got to be with the football. Makes all the difference whether the interception or a touchdown.
Then Little comes in, wins the game, 16-13. 2 more weeks,
you know that,
for LSU to play. Bob brought up UL Monroe and then Texas A&M, but the concentration the next couple weeks is going to be on who becomes the new head coach at LSU.
I know Coach O wants to beat the Aggies. I can tell you that.
That
right
one
now.
he wants bad.
To go out in the flame of glory. Hallelujah. Boy, I can tell you right now.
To beat Jimbo.
Oh, God. He would be like, hey, okay, what do you got to say to me now? Come on. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm just saying.
I would put a lot of money on it.
I know he want to beat the Aggies. I'm telling you.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Tony Alford and Priscilla Larbinger have been the foundation of what is now Alford and Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's not just about insurance. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
We analyze and then custom design your insurance policies to fit your business's needs, not the insurance carriers.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maudie.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, I threw it to you.
All right, we got our naming sponsors. Of course, Chuck Bork was telling Bobby was a little bit off on Boogie Nights. We're going to let Chuck bring you back in line.
Oh, gotcha.
Cody Gray with Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. We're going to start with him because you won a big old cooking contest. Tell me about that. That's the word on the street anyway.
So word on the street is correct. This Friday, of course, it was a huge weekend in Thibodaux, but on Friday was the Big Boys Main Street Cook-Off. Louisiana's Cajun Bayou partnered with our great friends over at Friends of Bayou Lafourche. We entered a cooking team, I think for the first time, from our organization's standpoint, the first time. Walked away with first place in variety and best of show.
Man, who did that cooking, brother?
Now look,
who actually did the cooking?
That was a team effort, but I will give Ryan Perk a heck of a lot of credit there because he did a lot of it. But it took about, I think it was about 4 or 5 of us total.
Oh, awesome.
What about Ian and Archie? Were they there to help?
Well, Ian was running around doing other things for the event.
Archie was there to eat.
And Archie was there in spirit.
Archie was a sampler?
Sure. I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Yeah, because he is the big man over there. All right, Chuck Bork with St. Martin and Bork. Show Bobby how that song goes. Just bring him back.
Give it to him, Chuck.
I really don't know if I can do it true justice, but it's a little bit more like Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
There you go. I had to teach Bobby that on the intermission there.
No, but you know what I was talking about.
Yeah, we did. Well, I mean, but
we got it, Bob.
Rich Maudie said something about Boogie Nights was here, Bobby Abel.
No, I would agree with that, but that's not usually the case. Okay, I can't be 100%. I mean,
you can try.
We're only in 2 categories.
All right. I want Chuck to tell us what's coming up. They always do great things at St. Martin and Bork. Christmas is right around the corner, and I've seen you expand your list this year.
Actually, we did. This year with all the disaster, or I guess all the trauma caused by Hurricane Ida, there's a lot of people that really are going to do without. So we go to, as most of y'all know, we'll go to a lot of the local schools in the poor areas. Actually, not us. Santa Claus comes in and does gifts to the kids in the pre-K grades. So we have expanded our list. Some of the schools we did in the past are not open. We're actually going to reach over in the Lafourche Parish this year too, get a few of the schools there. Santa Claus is going to have to work a little bit harder, but we're really excited about it, Martin. And we think this year it's going to really be special. A lot of these people are really hurting and they're looking for something. So after a long talk with Santa, he agreed to cover a few more bases with us this year.
Awesome.
All right, now I want to go. We've extended this segment a little bit because Bobby, you had a chance to go back to South Lafourche.
Yes.
And visit the Tarpons. And I
did the coin toss.
Yeah, I know. Jason Serenier was there, and he got a little video. Jason, let's roll that in if we can.
This is my $8, the grandma of Patrick Gisclair, my dad's sister. So I had to come, the baby sister, yes, I had to come and support Patrick. He's doing outstanding, and I'm just here to support him. And I'm not sitting in the stands, so I'm going on the field so I can watch the game. That's my priority. I want to watch the game, and so I'm just excited to be here, and just a great atmosphere, playoff game. Opelousas coming to town, and I'm just glad to be here. And I got kind of emotional seeing May Dolly. I think of my dad.
Yeah, there you go. So what happened, just to ask you, when you walk on the field and they know you've been in the pros and you've done really well, I mean.
Well, I'm still Bobby J.
Do you feel the sense that they're looking around going, hey, Bobby J's in the crowd?
No, I started thinking, I'm looking at the end zone. I'm thinking 1977, Bonneville State Championship. You start reflecting back and all that. But now the damn field's unbelievable. That artificial turf. I mean, the track, everything's good, and how they've bounced back, post Ida, and to get the stadium ready to host a home game. It was just unbelievable. The atmosphere was there. I don't know, this day and age, I don't understand football. You score 42 points and you're not in the game. I'm like, what? Coach Ralph Perry is rolling over in his grave. You score 42 points and you really, it's not
Well, y'all scored 21, y'all out in the bar.
Yeah, we won 21-20. If you can hit 20 points, hell yeah, you should win. But it's different,
But Martin, you could tell that that's a relative, okay?
Right.
His Aunt Dolly. One, she corrected him.
She said, I'm the baby sister.
I'm the baby sister. And secondly, when he threw the coin toss, he put the coin in his pocket.
No, that coin is awesome.
That does not shock me.
I am saving that, and I flipped out, and the Opelousas called it, and they deferred to the second half, so it wasn't necessarily good. Opelousas had a lot of speed, and I still take the approach. You score 42 points. How in the hell you lost the game?
All right, let's do this. I want to bring up Kevin Black. Kevin came to Homa and Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish to help people out. Y'all may know his younger brother, Clint Black. Sort of a big name.
Living legend.
Right, yeah. But
Bobby, he
talk
can
about
teach you how to
Kevin
sing.
can play.
He can teach you how to sing.
Yeah, Kevin can play guitar and sing as well. He was in my office a while ago doing that, but I met Kevin a while back. And Kevin, just for the audience, tell him why you ended up in this area.
A friend of mine named Mike Carson. He owns Mike Carson Construction. He's a general contractor licensed contractor in the state of Louisiana. And because of the pandemic in the music industry, we just threw our calendars in the trash for about a year. And I'm a professional photographer as well. Threw that calendar in the trash for a year. So while I'm sitting around not doing anything, Mike calls me up. I already knew the disaster from Ida that was going on, and I wasn't doing anything. He asked me if I'd come down here and help. And so I've been here for almost 3 months, going around finding out who we can help, how many people can I explain to the process of how to get whole again. And so I've met a lot of heartbreak and a lot of heartache here over the last few months, but that's why I'm here, and that's why I'll stay here for a while. So
yeah, let's do this. Let's talk about this book. Y'all give him a hand. Because I interviewed Clint Black way back in, I think Baton Rouge. Myrna came with me way back in the day, and I think he had, 7 number ones off of that one album?
6. Mine had.
I was close.
No. Yeah, you were real close. But it broke a record of all time.
Maybe you could do one more sacrificial effort and give Bobby a lesson on how to sing.
No, hey, listen.
That would be sacrificial.
You talk about the Black family. Boy, they got the same mom and daddy. But look how he looks. Now, that's his brother.
No doubt.
Oh, no.
When I first met him a few months ago, I looked at him and I said, boy, it's right in the eyes. You can tell.
Oh, he put that black cowboy hat on. I'd be like,
I want Kevin to hold his book up to that camera right here because it's an impressive book, and your foundation is involved in that. And tell us all about the book.
Okay, so I'll give you all the Reader's Digest version. About the time when my brother and I were doing shows together, my daughter was born, and she was born with a very rare neurological disorder called Rett, R-E-T-T syndrome. And so we had no idea that Clint was going to go off and be overnight success, even though years and years in the bars and everything came prior to that. But so it was one of those things where I'll catch up with you. I've got to stay here and get to know my daughter. And after a few years, I found out that she had a rare neurological disorder. And so I had to stay behind and take care of her for 16 years. And she passed away from that. And due to that, I'm a professional photographer. My business manager is a professional photographer. I'm a musician. He loves music. So we decided, we did 15 years of fundraising with concerts, bay fishing tournaments, strollathons, and concerts. And so we both have been photographing George Strait, Garth Brooks, Clint Black, Jimmy Buffett, B.B. King, Dolly Parton. We photographed 206 of these artists with their permission. They chose the photo they liked for the book, and so it's a black and white coffee table book of all the images. Now, there's a little bit of information here about Rhett, and a little story about myself and my daughter, because if I did an entire book on Rhett, nobody'd buy it. So this is our Trojan horse to somebody's coffee table, because everybody loves music and everybody loves black and white.
So you don't know what to get for Christmas? That's the present right here.
Yeah, it's a great present. And
I mean, right here.
You know what I heard in that whole summary? He gave up probably a great music career for the love of his daughter.
That's awesome.
That's what it's all about, no doubt about it.
Was there a website that you can go to order that? How do people get to that book? Yeah.
RaisingAHand.com. Actually, Volume 2 is out now, and it's got 236 artists in it.
It's already complete, because maybe we can get a picture of Bobby in there.
No, I don't need to be in there. I don't.
He has to sing. You have to sing in order to be in the book.
Don't ask him that.
I can't sing.
Better than Boogie Nights.
He's been trying.
It does have a picture of Bobby under the Boogie Nights section.
I can do a little Louis Armstrong, my best.
All right, we're going to kick it to a break, but I want y'all to meet Kevin. He's been in town helping out, and he's used his firepower to come over here and help out. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back with more. Thank you.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times. And while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Are you looking for a new or used vehicle? Well, come check us out at Barker Honda, because we get new, updated inventory daily. We're offering top dollar for your trade. Give us the opportunity to buy your car.
We offer new and used financing.
Come check out our award-winning trucks.
For cars, trucks, SUVs, come check us out.
Our sales specialists can help find the vehicle just for you.
We're getting new inventory daily.
Come down and see us on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Holman. Always remember,
it's better at Barker.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, you got it.
All right, before we mention the corporate sponsors, I see judges in the house, Judge Pickett. See Ms. Bernadette Pickett with the DA's office. I see David Rabelais with the Port Commission. He's the director. Also see a bunch of law enforcement. If you're in law enforcement, please stand up and get a round of applause from this group here. Stand up. Thank you.
Man, we got Lester bringing in the big wigs, DePaul Smith.
WWL.
Yeah, right
and
there.
And Lester's burning his ear the whole time going. Now look, I brought Terry Bro up. Terry's going to help us with the corporate sponsors today. We're going to see if Terry's cut out for the TV world. Terry.
All right, our first corporate sponsor is South Louisiana Bank. Terrebonne General Health Systems, Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, Alford & Associates, and BioPure.
All right, there you go. Second best class ever in the history of Vanderbilt Catholic.
And that's all debatable.
So Martin, do y'all got to figure it out? Is Vanderbilt going to do anything in the playoffs? Or what,
well, look,
come on,
Vanderbilt and Edie White are both in the semifinals.
Yes, that's
So I'm not going to take away from either school.
Right.
This week's going to mean a lot. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And we're going to kick it to Harry McCullough, who's standing by, and he needs Terry's mic. So
I just need
there you go.
mic.
Terry, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
All right,
Terry.
Harry.
Appreciate it. Boy, look, we're talking Nichols, and man, that was a heartbreak. I mean, they really should have got it done. They were set up. They were going to play Incarnate Word, then they were going to play Southeastern. If they win both of those games, they would be a three-way tie going in. But they had Incarnate Word. They had them beat, and at the end of the game, they just didn't get it done. So let's take a look at some of those highlights. Starts with a field goal. So Colonels are up 3-0 with a 21-yard field goal there. And then Cohen Grenier will get it out to Aldontre Davis, and he'll go 21 yards. Boom, good back shoulder throw. So it's 10-0. We're rolling, we're at home. This is happening, babe. We're fired up. But then Cameron Ward gets going, and they had some wild plays in the end zones here. Ward, 15 yards. And he's going to run it in, but right before he gets in, there's a little fumble. And the Colonels are going to jump on it. Jammer and James forces the fumble and picks it up. So they stop a big touchdown right there. But we would see one of those from the Colonels as well. So a little later, it's Cameron Ward again, passing this time to Roger McCullough, not with an A, but he scores. So 6-yard TD. So now they're within 3 now. So it's 10-7. Then Ward again out to Chafin. Chafin makes a move, and he gets in the end zone. They take the lead. So here we go. Guggenheim, again, Colin Guggenheim, they kind of went to that Wildcat thing there too, and he pushes it in this time for the touchdown.
Hit and spin. Saw that hit and spin.
Nice
Get it in
there.
there.
He can go, and I think he used to be a quarterback in high school.
Yes, he was at John Curtis, yeah.
So he's used to doing that. So here's Ward again, up top. Man. Complete. And complete for an interception. That's Kevin Johnson with the interception. So the Colonels are back in good shape. They got the lead. They're up by 4. So Kevin Wynn back to punt now. They didn't score there. Here's the punt to KJ Franklin. Franklin stopped right there. He fumbles.
Don't turn it over.
And they turned it over right there. So they get it in good position. The Colonels are again now up 6. It's 20-13. And Ward's pass again. The defense is just coming up time after time, but offense not capitalizing. Johnson again picks it off. So they stop another touchdown. So the defense is doing their job. So it looks like we're going to mission accomplish here. But here's Brown. Takes off up the middle, and he is gone. 55 yards there for the touchdown. Ties the game at 20 when they kick the extra point. And then Brown again from the 15-yard line is gone. 85 yards for the score. He's kind of tick as well, but he gets in the end zone and he scores. So then Cameron Ward again. So Incarnate Word's got it going. Here's Ward up the middle. He's gone. He's going 45 yards. Fumbles again. So 2 times they stopped him from going in. They had the 2 interceptions. 2 times they stopped the fumble. The Colonels get inside the 5-yard line with a first down. They have 4 plays, and they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it in the end zone. So Nichols drops that game. So they fall to 4-3 in league play and 5-5 overall. They're still playing Southeastern on Thursday night, so that'll be a Thursday night game. Southeastern is 6-1. If they win, they'll be chanced. But Incarnate Word will play Houston Baptist. Houston Baptist 0-10 on the year, so that's probably a layup for Incarnate Word. So just to tie it out, Southeastern needs to win. So it'd be nice to knock off Southeastern. That's kind of we play some kind of.
So Harry, you think right now if Nichols would upset Southeastern, are they still in the postseason?
No.
Probably not.
I think it would be Southeastern and Incarnate Word.
But if Nichols beats them, just Incarnate Word, right?
Maybe just Incarnate Word, yeah.
It would have been a 3-way champ if won both of those.
Right.
So I think all 3 may have gotten in, but now with Nichols losing,
might have 1 or 2.
You might just have 2.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Bacteria and germs run rampant in the air that surrounds us. It's more important than ever to keep our surroundings clean. Introducing BioPure. Specializing in commercial and residential disinfection applications, BioPure's advanced treatment process allows them to disinfect more surfaces quickly and effectively, with no inconvenience to staff or family members. Let BioPure help you create a better environment for everyone. Call for your free consultation today at 985-322-3003.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou, Stan Gravois does a great job each and every week giving us all the action in the high school ranks. So Stan came up with this football package high school-wise.
It's playoff time in high school football in the state of Louisiana. Let's take a look at how our Bayou region teams did in round one this past Friday. At Buddy Marcellus Stadium in Houma, Jalen Coleman, freshman for Vanderbilt Catholic, had 4 rushing touchdowns against St. Louis Catholic. And the Terrier defense was very stingy, coming away with 4 turnovers, 2 of them by way of interception from Southborough linebacker Jacob Fairchild. Back to Jalen Coleman. The young man averaged 13 yards of rush in this game and ran for an astounding 310 yards. And by the way, again, did I mention just a freshman? Vanderbilt Catholic methodically pulled away from St. Louis Catholic in this game. The Terriers rushed for over 400 yards and held the potent St. Louis Catholic passing game in check. Vanderbilt wins in round one, 35-18. In Galliano, it was supposed to be a football game, but a track meet broke out here. Number 22, Deshaun Ford of Opelousas scores. But South Lafourche comes right back. A nice pass from Patrick Gisclair to Austin Savoy. But on the ensuing kickoff, Mickey Jones of the Tigers of Opelousas hauls it in, and he's not going to get caught. He runs down the sideline. Opelousas takes the lead back. But the Tarpons fight right back in this one. Brody Petrie runs it right up the middle. This one for about 70 yards. The Tarpons are hanging around. But, man, just too much athleticism again from that Tigers team. This is their quarterback, Giovanni Gibson. Breaks a couple of tackles down the sideline, big stride, and he is not going to get caught. This was the way this game went, folks, just right up and down the field all night long. Here's the Tigers again, and that's that young man Gibson at the quarterback position. He's going to run this one in. And then for good measure, there is Deshaun Ford again. He goes right up the middle. He's not going to get caught. South Lafourche just couldn't keep up the pace as the Opelousas athletes sort of run away with this one in the second half. Final score, Tigers 57, Tarpons 42. In Morgan City, Central Catholic was down to Ascension Catholic 20-34, but this touchdown by the Eagles tightened it up a little bit after the 2-point conversion. It was 28-34. But Ascension Catholic puts it away late in the game as they score here to make it 41. They go on to win it 41-36. In other scores in 4A football, Warren Easton just way too much for Ellender. Also in 4A football, Leesville gets by Assumption. In 5A football, H.L. Bourgeois gives Santa Maria all they can handle. Destrehan, no problems in the first round. And Hahnville comes up a touchdown short at Benton. In 3A football, St. James hangs on to defeat North Webster. Lutcher, a tight one with Carroll. They win it 31-27. And Donaldsonville pummels Patterson. A look at the big games that'll be happening this week. It's the quarterfinals in Division II. E.D. White going to be in action. Of course, they're the number 1 seed and had a bye. They'll be taking on number 8, Parkview Baptist, who is 7-4. That game will be in Thibodaux, but Vanderbilt Catholic in Division II going to be on the road. They're headed up to Shreveport to take on number 3 Loyola Prep. Flying Snoopies are 8-3, but their schedule not that impressive. In 5A football, undefeated Destrehan going to be at home. The number 4 seed going to take on number 13 seed Woodlawn out of Baton Rouge. Woodlawn 6-4 on the year. In 3A football, number 9 seed St. James is going to be traveling up to the Baton Rouge area to take on number 8 seed Madison Prep, a very good Madison Prep team. Their only loss this year was to University Lab. And finally, also in 3A football, Lutcher going to be at home. The number 6 seed Bulldogs at 8-1 are going to take on number 11 seed Bugaloosa. Always a good program there at Bugaloosa. Bugaloosa comes in at 7-2.
Thank you, Stan. Always does a great job with the prep ranks. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Curtis Calais Welding has been providing contract labor for the offshore oil and gas industry for over 28 years. Curtis Calais Welding is now hiring. All applicants must have a TWIC card and be able to pass an occupational medical exam and a drug screen. Triple C Towing has a fleet of 2 inland tugs to provide service for the oil and gas industry. All vessels are provided with experienced personnel, and we do what we say we will do. Curtis Calais Welding, now hiring, and Triple C Towing, ready to work.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Before we throw it to Doc, we want to congratulate both Vanderbilt and also Edie White, the girls teams. They ended up winning cross-country state, both of them. So congratulations to both Vanderbilt girls and also Edie White. And who's up next is the Doc, Dr. Pat.
Yeah. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. Asking all them questions.
Let's give the floor to our Doctor of Curiosity and the voice of the people, Dr. Pat Hagan.
Why you asking all them questions? Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Doc, you got it, brother.
That's a song. Now that's a song.
Lafouche, when Bobby was there, they had great girls track teams and cross-country teams because the girls were running from Bobby. He was chasing them.
No, that did happen. that did happen. But I'm so discouraged. You score 42 points, you don't win. I'm like, man.
So,
man, you get to sound like 4K with that.
No, I don't understand. Look, I like football and the way it's gone because I like to be entertained. But I still like slugfest football. When it's like a video game and it's like whoever has the ball last.
You went to the basketball game. It's like basketball's been there. Basketball's been that.
I'm like saying, you think you got some momentum, then you can't stop your opponent.
And what I see on the high school level is with the 7-on-7 during summer and the focus on that, these kids don't know how to block and tackle anymore. So when they run up against teams like Edie White, who's going to make you block and tackle for 18-play drives, they just get worn out.
But they call that
Doc, you brought up a good point, and JT Curtis, he's run that same system all those years.
He's run the same
system. It's about blocking, tackling,
since the
it's
70s.
Fundamentals. You got a good point there.
So now for the Saints, Sean Payton has not had a 3-game losing streak since 2015. The NFL has the Saints still ranked, their power ratings at number 11. But you know how it is, man.
Right.
You go give great efforts, you start losing close games. You can go one of two ways. You're going to start winning them close games, or you're just going to start losing more.
You better beat the Eagles.
To me, the Eagles, because to me, listen, it's a toss-up because you're on the road, flip a coin against the Eagles. But that would be an upset if we beat the Bills on Thanksgiving night and then the following Thursday against the Cowgirls. That would be an upset. But I'll tell you, I'm not going to be discouraged because I said this way back in April. They could be 6-6 or 7-7 and win their last 3 games and finish 10-7. Look who they played the last 3 games.
Okay, one question.
The Dolphins on Monday night, Atlanta and Carolina. We're gonna be 10-7.
Do you think Trevor Siemian could be a quarterback of the future for the Saints?
No, hell no.
Just not on the roster.
No, he's a journeyman.
He's not on the roster.
Trevor Siemian's doing what he's good. He's playing.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest of All help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South's Ambulatory Surgery Center offers patients advanced and innovative outpatient procedures using the latest technology and treatment options. The first of its kind in the region, this center provides our patients and their families with high-quality care in a convenient, comfortable, and safe environment at a lower cost. Trust your care to the cardiovascular care team you know and love at CIS. Learn more at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Here on Sports on the Bayou, guys, just think about this in college and pro football. There is no dominant team in pro football today. None. Now, somebody may get hot a little bit later, but right now, all of them's got a couple losses. Look at college football. Other than Georgia, name me a really good college football team week to week. Every once in a while you see like a Baylor plays well, but then they got upset the week before, and Oklahoma gets beat. So
who's controlling the games anymore other than Georgia?
No
great
one.
defense. No, but it's scoring 85,000 points.
But can you
a game.
remember another year? Yeah. You don't see a common thread here. No dominant team in pro football. One dominant team in college football.
The only thing you would say that you'd perceive them as being dominant, considered who they've beaten, but there's no Derrick Henry, would be the Titans. The Titans have beaten 5 playoff teams. They won 6 in a row. Last season, the playoff teams, but they don't have Derrick Henry, so you don't trust them. The Rams all in. The Rams lay an egg against the 49ers. You don't know. The Cowgirls lay an egg against the Broncos, and they crush Atlanta. You don't know. A lot of times I'm just telling you, if you're betting on NFL football, you're
losing. You got no money in your pocket.
Your wife's going to say, come on, we can't go buy groceries? Come on.
But you know what? This year is like every year, though. There's 2 halves. So the first half of the year, the teams that are losing all of a sudden start kicking in. You start seeing some teams. The Titans started off, they lost a couple of games early, right? They shouldn't have.
They lost to the Jets.
The opposite.
The Titans, look how awesome they are, and they lost to the Jets early in the year.
The Eagles are a team that could win 4 or 5 games.
Rich, I'm glad you brought that up.
They could be a team that can win.
I'm glad you brought that up about the Eagles.
You know he got a statistical somewhere.
Think about this. You want to support the home team, right? An Eagles crowd, they always rough. You know, the Eagles are 4-6. They've won 4 games in a row. They lost 6 games at home. The fans are dog cussing. They get after Santa Claus and all that. So maybe that might work in our favor. All I know what cannot happen happened against Denver. Denver had trouble punching it in. They went to the Eagles' 3-yard line, 10-yard line, and 11-yard line, and they couldn't score. And then all of a sudden, Melvin Gordon's 4th and 1. They get a scoop and score with Darius Slay, and it's an 82-yard touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater, lack of effort, getting it down, calling them out. Look, the Broncos just crushed Dallas, and then they lose to the Eagles. You know what? It's different. That's why there's no homecoming games. It's pros versus pros.
Bobby,
you got to be ready to play every
week. Here's a stat you should look at. How many defensive scores this year relative to other years? How many defensive scores?
I got to do my homework.
You got to do homework
for next week. At me right now.
He's going to say, Mike, why don't you do that homework on that?
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before, and just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you or a loved one are having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights.
Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services.
Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with another version of Sports on the Bayou.
Who dat? Hopefully that.